All right, guys, here we go. So Marjorie Taylor Greene went on NBC and was asked about Trump's illegal regime change war in Venezuela, and she did not hold back. Let's listen.
Why do you disagree, Congresswoman?
Well, you know, I served on the Homeland Security Committee for 3 years, and I am overwhelmingly in support of a strong border. I impeached Secretary Mayorkas. Those were my articles of impeachment that passed the House because fentanyl overdoses skyrocketed to 280% in my own district. And the majority of American fentanyl overdoses and deaths come from Mexico. Those are the Mexican cartels that are killing Americans.
By the way, let me just pause to point out, I don't like this argument. Because the implication here is, why are you attacking Venezuela when you should be attacking Mexico? No, Marjorie, it would be just as fucking stupid and wrong if he attacked Mexico. So far, I do not like this argument. But by the way, she's a Republican, right? She's a Republican. So you're not going to get almost any good comments from Republicans. And this is going to be as good as it gets. Maybe Massey's a slight bit better. But like, you'll see, watch. She turns the screws on him in a second.
And so my pushback here is if this was really about narco-terrorists and about protecting Americans from cartels and drugs being brought into America, the Trump administration would be attacking the Mexican cartels. Now, I am not defending Maduro. And of course, I'm happy for the people of Venezuela to be liberated. But Americans celebrated the liberation of the Iraqi people after Saddam Hussein. They celebrated the liberation of the Libyan people after Gaddafi.
Yeah, by the way, that's exactly right. There's videos of people celebrating when Saddam Hussein was overthrown and pulling down the statue, and it objectively was worse. It was worse. That led to the rise of ISIS, right? It was a total fucking civil war. When Gaddafi was overthrown in Libya, now you have open slave markets, and it's a failed state. And by the way, when I went looking for actual real video of Venezuelans celebrating in Venezuela, I couldn't fucking find it. It was only people celebrating in Miami, people using 2-year-old videos pretending it was from today, people using World Cup celebration videos pretending it was from today. So, like, I couldn't even find real videos of people in Venezuela celebrating the overthrow of Maduro. There were some from Miami, but I couldn't find them in Venezuela. And so even that is just a psyop to make people think, oh, this is a very popular thing. They've done polling on this. It was only like 23% of Venezuelans that wanted Maduro overthrown. Only like 23%. And here they are pretending like, oh no, this is actually really popular. Trust us.
Celebrated the liberation of the Libyan people after Gaddafi. And this is the same Washington playbook that we are so sick and tired of that doesn't serve the American people, but actually serves the big corporations, the banks, and the oil executives. And so my pushback here is on the Trump administration that campaigned on Make America Great Again that we thought was putting America first. I want to see domestic policy be the priority that helps Americans afford life after 4 disastrous years of the Biden administration. I want to see domestic policies that prioritizes jobs and affordable housing for Americans after 4 disastrous years of the Biden administration. And I want to see domestic priorities that put Americans first in regards of health care. Health insurance costs too much, car insurance, home insurance. And these are issues that matter to Americans. We don't consider Venezuela our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is right here in the 50 United States, not in the Southern Hemisphere.
First of all, it's sort of rich to go after Biden in this moment. Like when Trump is objectively becoming like the worst sociopath of all time in modern history in the U.S. Kind of weird to go after Biden in that moment. But the broader point of like, well, hold on here. You know, we have unemployment going up in this country. We have inflation going up in this country. We have 18 million people that you guys just fucking kicked off Medicaid. By the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene voted for that bill too. By the way, the big bullshit bill that kicked 18 million people off their Medicaid. Fucking Trump not doing any more Affordable Care Act subsidies. That's going to triple healthcare premiums in this country. So you have all that going on, and at the same time, he's like, we're going to give $40 billion to Argentina, to the weird, freakish, failed president that looks like a Muppet. We're also going to run Gaza, and we're going to run Venezuela. Like, literally anybody who even to the tiniest degree actually believed in America first as a principle, all of you should turn on this rapidly. All of you should be like, oh my God, this guy's a fraud. He's a fraud. And here you have MTG, super fucking conservative. But now even she's going after Trump, which, by the way, you love to see it. You love to see conservatives turning on Trump. You love to see it. Now, it's taken far too long, and she brags about having, like, voting with him, like, 98% of the time or something like that, which goes to show you, okay, you're just as big a part of the problem as he is. He obviously controls foreign policy, so in a sense, he's worse. But, like, too little, too late, I believe. That's what that saying was meant for moments like this. This too little, too late. But at the same time, we need to see people from within his coalition turn on him. And make no mistake about it, they feel comfortable to do this because he's at a 35% approval rating. So they realize they have the leeway. If this was, 2 weeks after his election, when he's riding high and, his people are celebrating, then they wouldn't do it. But now they realize they see the weakness and they're willing to break from him a little bit. But again, even given that context, you still see the throat clearing, and that's the shit that drives me crazy. You get this a lot from Democrats, too. Oh, I agree he's a bad guy. Oh, I'm happy the people were liberated. Like, we're going to have to get past all that shit. You're going to have to fucking throw that aside, because people did this during the Iraq War, too, and what the fuck did it get us? It got us nothing but building the argument of your opponents before veering at the conclusion. And I'd rather come correct and come aggressively. You know what I'm saying? Where you're like, no, I'm not even going to end it. Like, who cares? If somebody walks up to some guy on the street and shoots him in the face, if somebody responds to that by saying, well, that guy was an asshole, like, whoa, what are you doing? Now's not the time to bring that up. That makes no fucking sense. Like, they're the victim of this crime. So let's not do all that bullshit. Let's put all that aside. But nonetheless, she's one of a handful that have turned on Trump. It'll be interesting to see. Thomas Massie has consistently been against Trump's warmongering. So Thomas Massie and MTG now are the only ones, but MTG's now no longer there anymore, right? Isn't she now officially outskis in Congress? And so is there only going to be Massie standing up? Is it only going to maybe sometimes be Rand Paul standing up? We need these people to fucking... The Republican Party is literally like a terrorist death cult at this point, where Trump can illegally do regime change in Venezuela. He can threaten Colombia, threaten Cuba, threaten Greenland, bomb Iran, bomb Yemen, bomb Somalia, and every step of the way, these guys always fucking find a way to clap like seals. And I'm sorry, if that's the case, even at this late date you're doing all this shit, well, then there's no hope for you, right? If you can't wake up and turn on him for this, there's nothing he can do that will make you turn on him. So every now and then it's nice to have some semblance of some criticism from within that tent. But unfortunately, it's not nearly enough. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.